to give something of thought.
Thank you.
You talk about choice. You talk about choice, Senator, and you talk about being forced out into the labour market, or this disingenuous bill about the state coming down. We here in this House are responsible for creating equality. Sometimes equality isn't always made by a bill that would make equality. This bill is about creating equity. Equity for men and women on pay scales, and I think that is so much more than how you put down women's choice. And I feel that that's a little bit rich coming from yourself on women's choice. But Minister, this bill is very, very welcome, and it's long overdue. And I'm very much agree that you would agree that this legislation should be here before now. Fianna Fáil in opposition support this bill, and now in government we're absolutely delighted to be working as part of a fair economy, a fairer society, and a key part of that will be continuing to eradicate the gender pay gap, to hold companies accountable, and to highlight the companies who are doing a good job. Gender pay equality is a concept that is often very misunderstood, and it has been for a long time. It has been defined as a percentage difference between the average gross hourly earnings for women and men, and we all have come to aware of the line of equal pay for equal work, and this is the essence and the basis for this bill. The gender pay gap is now a well-known phenomenon which has received increasing attention in Ireland and internationally. And I must congratulate my fellow colleague, Senator Clifford Lee, on establishing the first all-party Oireachtas committee on gender pay inequality. I am glad to be a member of that committee now, and during this term we're working to change the so-called traditional view of female participation in the labour force. The Work Equal campaign led by Sonia Levins has done incredible work and continues to do so, highlighting the gender issues in relation to women gaining fair and decent work. The bill goes some way to ensuring that we as a country treats people of all genders equally, and it will for the first time provide for a structural and steady flow of information on what is happening in individual businesses. The amendments agreed by Cabinet on the 30th of April will mean that government departments and agencies will have to report on their own gender pay gap and establish a stronger role for enforcement in the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission. And I'd also ask Minister that maybe this concept could be extended not within this bill, but in other areas where public bodies and state departments and state organisations would have to highlight how their diverse workforce and more. And who are we hiring as a state to ensure that we have more diversity in our state funded bodies? The Minister has outlined the Gender Pay Gap Information Bill will require the phased introduction of pay gap reporting for any employer with more than 50 employees. Employers will be required to report the percentage mean and median pay gap for men and women in terms of hourly pay for both full-time and part-time employees, as well as bonus pay. Employers will also report on the proportion of male and female employees who receive bonuses or benefit in kind. But there is a bigger overall issue that I must address today, Minister, and it is how we as women, or we as a society, work. Workplaces have generally been created by men, for men, and what is so-called normal needs to change. Society is changing, and what society wants is evolving. And maybe one silver lining out of COVID is how this work and life balance as concept is changing. Work is changing, no longer necessary to be in the office. It is more about productivity and results than inflexible so-called norms of 9 to 5. There are now more women in third-level education and attaining excellent qualifications, only in my opinion for the state to put in place barriers for women to participate fully in the workplace. I was one of those women. I have 3 degrees, good enough work experience, I would say, and after I had children, I had to weigh up the cost-benefit of going back to work. For me, the high cost of childcare was the issue. Why would I work for nothing really, little financial benefit, and have so much stresses on my family? So thankfully, we cut our cloth to suit, and I stayed at home. But then, when I did want to go back to work, the lack of part-time work, valuable part-time work that suited me, worked with the flexibility of being able to be a mother of 4 children, was very difficult to find. And I suppose the irony of I'm probably in one of the most least family-friendly jobs going now. But this employment gap in my past has raises another issue, and it's many of the issues that many of my female friends have had, and that is the consequence of not having a pension. I don't have a pension, and I'm not unusual, and this is going to have a huge long-term effect on women, and as a lot of women have, unfortunately, poverty to look forward to in their retirements. I must highlight that if we want to operate and create a society with a fair economy, we have to benefit everyone within. And more women in the workplace is better for everyone. Diversity provides an economic win. Studies have shown that the financial performance of firms improves with more gender-equal corporate boards. This is due to the fact that women and men bring different skills, different perspectives to the workplace, including different attitudes to risk and collaboration. It is known that there is a higher productivity and even higher wages for everybody. Minister, as someone once said, a lot done, more to do, and this is a step along the way. There is so much to do in relation to childcare, the constitutional amendments highlighted by the Citizens' Assembly, and regarding the value that we put on carers and the so-called care economy. The gender balance of state and corporate boards in our universities and our schools. And I think we need to, again, I'm rehashing other debates we had on gender equality, but to get more women involved in politics and in leadership roles. And I've seen a huge difference in the conversation from different Seanad Éireanns compared to this Seanad Éireann, because we have 40% women in it. And I do generally believe in 50-50 quotas, because I do think that we will never have a gender or equal society if we don't have an gender equal government and people who create the actual policies. So if we don't have equitable people or equitable make-up of people who are making the policies, we will never have an equitable country. And I just to reiterate, Minister, I very much welcome this bill. It is a step along the way, and I look forward to seeing far more progressive and positive changes in a fairer economy and a more diverse labour workforce in time to come. Thank you.